Welcome to the Fire Family Collective podcast, the show dedicated to supporting the unsung heroes of the fire service, the wives, partners, and families who hold down the fort while their firefighters serve. Hi, everyone. This is Amanda. We have an exciting update to share. Our show is growing, and we're bringing on a couple of new voices to the podcast. In the coming months, you'll start hearing from Alex and Heather, who will be hosting their own episodes and bringing fresh perspectives, stories, and conversations to our community. We're really excited about what they're building and can't wait for you to get to know them. Be sure to keep an eye out for their shows. You won't want to miss them. Thanks, as always, for being a part of the Fire Family Collective.
Welcome to the Fire Family Collective podcast. I am not Amanda. I'm Alex. I was on an episode earlier, but just a little introduction. I am a firewife from West Texas. My husband's been in the service for about 5 years, and I'm super excited to be hosting with Fire Family Collective today. And I have Hannah on here. Hannah is a fellow firewife here in West Texas as well. And we just wanted to talk about a little bit of her experience with coming into the service, not having support at first, not finding kind of her local fire family, and then how that has changed over time and kind of our passion of where we help rookies come in and hopefully find that and make a little bit of change. So welcome, Hannah.
Hello.
Hannah, how about you start and just tell us a little bit about your family, your husband, how long have y'all been together? How long has he been in the service? That kind of info.
Yeah. So I have been with my husband for almost 11 years total and 8 years married this year. And we have 2 kids, 5 and 3. And my husband's been in the department for service for almost 10 years. So almost as long as we've been together.
And he's been in 2 different departments.
Yes.
Right?
Started in a small town at age 19. So he jumped right in after high school. We have a program here where you can get your EMT through the college. So he did that during high school and was able to start right away.
Yeah. So y'all were, when you started out, you were in a smaller town, but you didn't live there.
Nope.
Right. Okay.
It was about an hour commute from where we live now. So.
Yeah. And I know there's a lot of fire families that don't live in the same town that their husband works. And so how is that, and how was that coming into this department? How did that affect your, finding your community?
It was definitely rough at first. So, one, we were 18 and 19. So, the babies of the group, everyone at his department, especially that one, were in their 30s. And we were 18 and 19. So, we definitely had to learn who were they to vibe with. So, the first year was pretty rough, learning about everybody. And one, I never really went to the department often because it was an hour drive and I worked. And
yeah, so you didn't just pop in on a Tuesday to say, hey,
yeah, we had to plan our visits. We didn't have any kids, so that was a lot easier on us at the time. But it took about a year before we had any newcomers that were at least closer to our age. So it was very awkward at first.
Well, and it's hard to come into an established department, a group that already knows each other. And especially if they're constantly telling you, oh, you're the babies, you're so young. Like
all the time.
Then you kind of feel, I don't know, maybe like invalidated a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
very left out in a sense.
Yeah.
Just everybody had been working there more than 5 years each.
Yeah.
And like I said, they were all in their either early 30s, mid 30s, or I think there was a couple guys in their 40s. And so we really just felt out of place. And it was his first time being in the service. And then I was new to the whole thing. And so we both just didn't know how to navigate it. And we were just like, let's just go for it.
So how was that being both new to the service? I know he has a little bit of family connection. His brother was a firefighter
and his
a little bit before
yeah.
him, and his grandpa.
Yeah.
So he's a little bit, but not a ton of knowledge of the service. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how was that coming into the department as babies? And really you had to figure it out on your own. I mean, you didn't have anyone to call, like, what do I do when this happens?
Yeah, we didn't have any, like I said, we didn't have anyone our age for the first year. My husband's captain was really great with him. He took him in under his wing like his own son. He had daughters too, so he loved it. But he did a journal system where his captain, or he would tell his, or they would tell my husband, write in this journal about your day. It could be anything, good, bad. Like it could just be a casual conversation if nothing happened that day. And I will take your journal when you're off duty and I will write you back. And he said that was one of the best things that happened to him because it really opened up that relationship with him, but it also gave him experience. Like, and the captain learned new things that he never experienced being there for however many years.
So that kind of helped
Yeah.
him process.
But as far as me,
But
I had nothing.
yeah,
I would, luckily nowadays you have your husband or spouse's location on the phone. So I would be able to check every once in a while and see where he was at if he didn't text me back. Cause I was very nervous at first. It took me a long while to earn that. Okay, he's not going to die today.
Yeah.
Cause I was young. I didn't know anything. And
Yeah.
yeah.
And so, okay, so he was on that department and y'all just had to trial by fire. I mean, how did that affect your relationship?
It was like it tested us at times for sure. He would, come home and, be quiet or something. I'm like, "Are you good?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm good." Or at first he was not very open our relationship about his feelings anyways, just because, the older generations, they were taught to hold their emotions in. And so it took him a while to talk to me about stuff like that. So that was a problem. But as we got more comfortable and learned, okay, this is what it's like being in the fire department, he was able to talk to me more. But mainly he just kept it at work and tried not to bring it home. So
Well, and that's probably hard when you don't have a mentor on the department to say, hey, what are the things like there's a huge talk right now, thankfully, across firefighting around the world about PTSD and
mhm.
about mental health. But at that point, if you don't have anyone that you're talking to, hey, what are the signs I need to look for?
Yeah.
Like, did he just have a bad call or is it still affecting him that he needs to talk to someone?
Yeah. Or is he tired? Like I didn't really know what to look for. Yeah,
I
you're
mean, and
right.
y'all, thankfully, were never put in that position where it got serious. But I feel like that could be a dangerous spot for someone to be in.
Yeah, and not to mention him being in such a small town, that was the only fire department. Like there's only one station, so he ran on everything, every medical, every fire, every lift assist, whatever it was, he ran it. So he was a lot more exhausted too because there wasn't another. I mean, they would call in people if they absolutely needed it, but it was him and that crew
All day, every
all
day.
day, 24/7.
Oh, that's gonna be
Like,
hard.
yeah.
Yeah. So you were there for about 5 years, kind of trial by fire there, and then he transitioned to our municipal department here,
Yes.
which is a lot bigger. Instead of one station, we have 13 going on 14,
14, yeah.
with 3 shifts. We do a Kelly schedule. I'm not even, if you don't know what that is, look it up because it's really hard to explain.
Yeah.
You just set your repeat on the calendar for 9 days and hope for the best.
Yeah.
But so that's where we met. They went through rookie year together here. So my husband's true rookie year, and I guess yours rookie
Rookie year, yeah,
whatever you call
restarting
that.
over.
Rookie number 2. But we both sat through a class that our local department calls Family Matters, which it's absolutely wonderful that they have this.
Very helpful because I didn't have that going into the small department at
Right.
all. So at least I got something here.
Yeah. So from the beginning, just kind of in a nutshell, they pull spouses and partners and girlfriends and whoever into this Family Matters class. And they did kind of like a panel the year we did it, where they went up and they told stories, and it was really about what to expect, what your spouse or husband's going to experience on the department, what a typical day might look like, what
Mhm.
station life is like, etc. They told us about the job. Well, we've talked since then. It's almost been 5 years, multiple times about how that was great. We liked knowing what we were getting into, but we also felt like there was this
Missing piece.
missing piece. Yeah.
Mhm.
They focused a lot on, your husband's going to be tired. They're going to come home and maybe need a nap, and you need to make sure you have all your stuff taken care of at home so you don't stress him out. And he needs this, he needs this, he needs this. All of it was true. We are not
Absolutely.
invalidating any of it. But it missed that flip side of, okay, he's been there. And at this point, I had 2 kids and you had 1. But we missed that flip side of, okay, he also needs to understand that at home, it's also hard.
And I was a stay-at-home mom. I know you were working, but I was learning. So I think I was pregnant with my second and learning about that, like getting prepped for that. But not only that, he was,
Yeah, like,
yeah, yeah.
what's a newborn gonna be like when he's on shift? Like,
hmm
you have to be the one to wake up and
Well, especially with two, I learned that with our first one, but
again, by
it's a
yourself.
lot. Yeah, by yourself, a lot of it by yourself.
Yeah, so we have talked about just this need and how you got to experience the whole figure it out on your own. And then when we came to this department, it wasn't total figure it out on your own. We were given a couple
Yeah.
resources, but at the same time, it was here's one side of it. Now figure the other side out on your own. And so we have kind of just found, and we've had lots of discussions about how that's dangerous. I mean, honestly, that's dangerous for rookies and the people supporting them without teaching, what to look for in the signs and
hmm
how to communicate in your relationship and what's going to be needed. I don't know. Is there anything you want to share on that?
You nailed it.
Okay.
Um,
I think I had a question in there somewhere and then my mind just went blank.
yeah.
But so that was kind of our start in talking about Fire Family. And when I found this, I thought, how great for departments that are like your smaller town department where you don't have people to go to. Like, y'all can get on Fire Family Collective or find other resources. I mean, we have so many social media things nowadays,
Yeah,
but where you can connect with other spouses across the nation or across the world, really, and have someone to back that up.
absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
but it is important to find people in your local department too. So kind of a transition. We'll come back to that thought because it ties back in. But
hmm
we know, and I talked about this on my episode before a little bit about how from some of the older guys in our department, and the older families, and my husband's dad was on this department years ago. He's retired now. But we know from some stories that there's this legacy of community
hmm
and there's this fire family that everyone talks about and what it used to feel like in our local department. Um, and we've talked about how there's kind of been this middle gap. I mean, I don't know what there is to
Something
blame.
happened.
Something happened. I don't know if people get busy with kids or if there was some kind of shift of mentality of like now it's just a job and it's not I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
But something was missing and we kind of realized that as we came in. So you and I connected more when our husbands were going through medic school.
Together. Yeah. We
But
both just had a newborn.
yeah,
So that was,
during
that
medic
was
school.
that.
Don't recommend.
No, not at all.
But why do you think it's important and why do we kind of push now getting to know your local fire family?
Yeah, it's definitely nice to have somebody. Like when my husband was in his small department, there was the Firewise were there. And of course, they mentioned, like, if you need anything, let me know. But I just never felt like I could reach out because one, age gap was a huge
Hmm.
thing. And two, they just never gave me that warm, fuzzy feel. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
It just
describe
was
it.
still
Yeah, it
awkward.
was just awkward still, even though he had been there for almost 5 years. But coming here, I realized one, there's a lot more departments, a lot more women our age, closer to my age, and there was a lot more support in a sense. So,
Well, with more people, you find
yeah,
you'll be able to find someone you click with.
yes, absolutely.
And so, the more people that we can find, whether it's local or not, to find somebody we can click with is going to be really important.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they even told us at that Family Matters, they're like, meet somebody at your table, give them your phone number. And we did. We weren't at the same
Our
table,
table was
sadly.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know you. Why
Yeah.
would I give you my number?
Well, not to mention, I think two of the husband wife duos at our table were in their late 30s and we're like, we still feel like a baby.
No, thank
And
you.
so luckily it wasn't bad, but I'm glad we did switch numbers with somebody. Like, even though I never really reached out to any of those wives at that table, I knew in that moment that I was going to have somebody eventually. I just had to get out there and meet them.
Yeah.
And we needed to build that community to make that happen because
Yeah. Well, there's just danger in
yeah,
isolation.
yeah.
I mean, if you're by yourself, It's really easy to fall into the pit of worry. It's easy to fall into the pit of being discontent.
Mhm.
It's easy, all the things, right? And when a wife feels completely separated from the job, I think that's can breed discontentment in your marriage. It's like they're going to their other wife, which is work, or their other boyfriends, we like to joke. I don't know how much of a joke that is sometimes. But it's easy for like bitterness and jealousy to grow, like when they're at the station instead of at your family event. And so, I mean, just in isolation, it's dangerous
Mhm.
for your relationship. So, what are some steps, I guess, for if wives feel themselves in that kind of spot of maybe I don't know anyone, and I do feel this kind of resentment for the job, or maybe I do know people, but I don't connect. I don't know.
Mm.
What are some things that maybe we have done or they could do to help with that?
I think exactly what we did. Alex and I came together after becoming good friends over the course of our husband's paramedic journey. We decided to get together and create a group of all the fire wives, spouses, whoever. And so we did a girls' night trial. We wanted to make sure it was going to be something we were even good at because we weren't sure. Ended up being great. All of the spouses were like, we enjoyed this, do it again. And even the husbands went to work the next day and were like, my wife came home and was like, I got to meet new people. Like, they loved it. We need to do it again. And so after
I
that,
think
we looked at each other and were like, yes.
I think we were a little bit shocked because we were like, what if everyone hates us? That's where
Yes.
both of our minds go. And I feel like a lot of us can relate to that. But we were like, we left that night overthinking as we do, and we were like, everything went wrong. And I mentioned on the last podcast, like I had put the time was 6:30, but on the other
On the
invite I had
Facebook
put
invite.
6, and so we showed up and everyone was already there.
And
And
we were like,
immediately I was like, they hate us, we're done. But we still reached out and started that. I think if that's not your thing to start a women's group,
mm-hmm.
because it is
It is
scary.
hard. Yeah.
I mean, we were scared because we had heard of maybe some past drama, and we're like, nope, we're out of there. If there's any drama, we're out.
Yes.
It's literally hang out casually. We're just doing trivia to have fun. But even if you don't want to do that, I think it's really important. We've talked how important it is to know your husband's crew. And so, what does that mean to you? Because you know your husband's crew pretty well.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Especially the guys who have come over the last 5 years as rookies, getting to know the crew. They're
I hate when we
all,
didn't talk
I
about
know, I'm like the guys. It was definitely awkward at first. There were some older guys on my husband's crew. And of course, having kids, I'm like, I can't be nervous because they need to not be nervous around these guys that could potentially save their life one day. But it wasn't bad. They were very welcoming, invited us to stay for dinner, and we're like, oh no, we're good. It's fine. But they're very welcoming. Definitely a different vibe from when my husband was in his small town. Like, they were like, "Hey, come hang out. Like, come in. Let's get you a drink. Like, what do you want?" And
Yeah.
it's
And
it
it's
was nice.
important to know them and for them to know you. And you don't
Mhm.
have to be, we never want to be the one that shows up all the time.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, that person again. But it's also important for us to know. And I think we've talked to a lot of rookie wives about knowing your husband's crew will help your worry.
Mhm.
It will help alleviate some of your worry of, if you hear they're on a big fire, but I know
His crew's
the
got his
hostman
back.
that's
Yeah.
walking into that with him and the lieutenant that's commanding outside, if I know them and I trust them, then I'm less worried about what's going on.
Mhm. Yeah, and also if you know they're going on a big fire and you've built that relationship with the crew, their wives also are gonna
Mhm.
be in that. So you can message them, be like, "Hey, did you hear they were on a fire? Like, if you need me, I need you," vice versa. That definitely
Well, and
helps
we've
out.
done that recently. Our guys don't go on fires together very often just because of where they are in the city, but they were on something.
There was a big fire downtown that
And
it happened to all
I
go
hadn't
to.
heard anything yet, and so I was able to text Hannah and be like, "Hey, have you heard anything yet?" She was like, "Yeah, he just sent me this," and so we knew that
Mhm.
at least he was okay. I mean, I don't think I think about that a lot,
Not as
but I know a
often
lot
anymore.
too. So knowing crews, it can change your attitude around it. It can change the feeling of the community and having people to lean on when you know who they're going to work with every day.
Definitely.
And then, like we said, we started hosting events. We realized, okay, we have this problem in our department that we don't know anybody. That's really where it stemmed from. We didn't know people. And so we were like, I bet there's other people that feel that way. And so why don't we start something just to meet people, just to simple get to know other people so that maybe we could find friends because that's pretty much it. And so we had that event. And that was just a small,
I think there was like
thing.
30 girls there, maybe.
Yeah, and we were shocked.
Yeah.
I think you told me there'll be like 7.
Well,
You're
we
making
had
too
to
much food.
bug our husbands, like, please send out this flyer because we don't know anybody.
Yeah.
And so they were like, I guess. And so we made flyers and we had them put them up at the station on the bulletin.
So
we're like,
embarrassing.
tell them to invite their husbands and wives. Some of them were hesitant. They're like, the past groups were awful. There was drama. I'm like, we don't want drama. We just want to meet somebody new, like, especially in our age group. Like, we just hired on the new rookies, right? Like maybe a couple months prior, and they didn't know anybody. I was like, this is a great opportunity for them to not only get with the girls that they met over the fire academy when their husbands or spouses were in, and now they can meet other people who've been there a little longer, and so they can vibe with them.
Just a good chance to like make some change. Because we have seen, and we have a mutual friend, you introduced me to them though, that has some history with PTSD and trauma related to the job. And I don't know, I think I've realized just how important it is to have people.
Yep.
And we want to start that because you didn't have that.
Yeah.
And so you see more the importance because you've experienced both sides.
Absolutely.
So when we look at these new rookie wives coming in, we get the blessing, I guess. We've started working with our local academy. Our husbands teach there, so I guess it's by default, but they didn't have better choices. But talking to the new cadets coming out of the academy and their families, we are blessed to be able to do that. We get to do that this next week, and I'm excited. But reaching out to local department rookie wives too. We don't have an established thing in our department yet, but being able to reach out and meet them and know them is very important. So what is one thing that you would want a new rookie wife to know? What's kind of your wisdom you would tell them?
Definitely the whole part, get to knowing your crew. Your husband's crew, not your crew. Your husband's crew.
You become your crew.
Yeah, your crew. Yeah, get to know them. Kind of, I know it's nerve-wracking at first to like, you're like, I don't know anybody. I don't want to, just do it. Just take that leap, take that step, because you're going to end up either finding your best friend in all of this or, at least finding somebody that you can talk to on occasion that understands what you're going through. Because so many people, like, you don't imagine how many times I've gone to family events and like, where's your husband? I'm like, where do you think he is? He's at work. And like, he's always at work. I'm like, nice with the job, man.
I saw this hat. I saw this hat that said he's at the station. And I was like, I just need that for every family event.
Yeah. And they're like, he's always working. I'm like, well, he's off, 20 days out of the month sometimes. You can plan around him. Not really.
Life doesn't work.
Knowing that you have somebody that knows what you're going through definitely helps. Because like I said, at the small department, I was 18, he was 19. Nobody. I could talk to my friends, but they would just look at me and be like, that sounds horrible. I'm like, it's not bad. It's just, I need someone else who knows what I'm going through to understand and be like, oh, I know that happened to me too. Like, I need to have that.
Yeah. And if you have friends outside of the department too, sometimes when we talk about things with them, we're like, I'm just frustrated with this. Someone on the department is going to get it.
Yeah.
They've either been through it or they're going to go through it or they are going through it, but they'll be like, you know what? That does suck. But next time it's going to be better.
Or, hey, come over next time that happens and we can let the kids go crazy in the backyard and me and you can just chill. You need that relationship with somebody, at least one person.
Yeah. Because outside the fire service, it's easy to, depending on your friends, but it's easy for them to they don't get it no matter how hard they try. And it's easy for that to breed discontentment. I think it's easy. Like you said, you had friends that were like, you know what? That sucks. Why are you doing that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
But they just.
Or they're like, I don't know what to say. I've never been through that.
And so, I would tell rookies the same thing. Get to know their crew, and then plan something, even if it's like a cookout at the station. I don't know, where you get to know the families.
Yeah.
Like we did a trick or treat. I think we trick or treated at the
Yeah.
station. Bill's first year. And so that's where I met some people, and none of them work together anymore. So now I've met more crews through those people.
Yes.
But when we're talking to rookie wives, I think it's really important we don't sugarcoat anything. We have talked many times, like, we don't want to be like, yes, it's all perfect and everything is so happy and they're a hero and it's great. Because that's not how we really feel, you know? But how do we balance kind of that? We tell the real hard parts of the job without getting into the negativity and just wallowing in our pit, I guess. I mean, how do you kind of mentor with hope, I guess, in a way? That sounds cheesy, but mentor in such a way that we give them the reality without scaring them.
Yeah. I mean, just keep it plain and simple. Just by like, yeah, there's days that are going to suck, but just know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Know that, one bad call does not mean their whole career is ruined.
Mhm.
Like, you get through it, you work through it, and communication. Like, that's the biggest thing in any relationship, whether you're married to a first responder or married to a school teacher. Like, you get through it at the end of the day, and communication is what's going to get there. Like if he's having a hard time and they're just like, I don't know, have them talk to him, like, go talk to so-and-so on your crew, or like they have a chaplain team or whatever. But I say your biggest thing is just communication. Like if they just need a moment to decompress or spend a couple hours working out to get that out, do it. Like find that thing that helps you cope and get through it.
Yeah. Communication's huge. So we've kind of shifted, and we're not rookie wives anymore. I feel like we still are.
Sometimes.
It's 5 years. Like, I'm not trying to, someone's going to listen to this like 30 years in and be like, these girls don't know anything, which is fine because there's so much we still have to learn. But as more seasoned wives than the rookies coming in, I guess. Why is it our responsibility to reach out to those new wives?
So they know that they have somebody. They need that support. They need to know, like, hey, we've been through this, like, trust us. Like, even if they don't pick us specifically, but as long as they, like, during that thing we speak at during the fire academy, like, let those family members we're speaking to know, like, hey, if it's not us you want to reach out to somebody that you do trust, or at least you can start to trust and build that relationship with them, because it is nice to have somebody, like you said, that knows.
Yeah. And I think it's really
going
important to open the door. I mean, you said in the smaller department, it was really hard to to feel like you could approach someone.
Yeah.
So I think as seasoned wives, that still sounds weird to say, but I can't think of a better word. It's important for us to reach out because a lot of times maybe they don't know they need to reach out. Maybe that no one has taken that first step. But I mean, we've got to have each other's back. It's like kind of like the wives and spouses and partners are a crew.
When they say fire family, that's what we mean. Like, if you don't build that relationship with someone, you're going to be over here in Alaska and they're in Texas. Like, it's going to feel like you're off, and you need to have that vibe with somebody. You need to have that relationship with them, because we are family at the end of the day, because they live, what is it calculated, like 1/4 of the year there? Like
Surely.
that's their family. You got to include yourself on that. Don't shut yourself out, because at the end of the day, they'll be there for you when you really need it. Matt was at work one day, and I was on my way to my first day back in college after having kids and getting back into it. Tire was flat. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be late my first day. And a fireman that was off duty came and saved the day. And we were very grateful for that. Yeah. So knowing we have somebody around us that are willing to drop something and help us when we need is a blessing.
And I think that's important. Like, I like the word family in this because, like, family can be ugly.
Yeah.
Family can have issues, but at the end of the day, you're all in it together.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what.
Absolutely.
And I feel like it just sounds cheesy, but it's so true. Like, you're not going to have the perfect fire family. You're going to have people that, you ebb and flow with, you might have issues with, but then you come back together. But we're all there to support and need each other.
Absolutely.
So thank you for sharing all that. I have kind of just a last minute, I feel like one of these questions I'm going to have to remake up because it sounds like what I already asked you, but I cheesily called this priority 1 because it's lightning round. You've got I've got 5 questions for you and just kind of quick answers. First thing that comes to your head.
Got
Okay.
it.
Okay, so if you were giving a survival kit to a new firewife, like if you were going to take them a basket or something, what is one must-have item in there?
Gosh, patience. No. Is that a
If
thing?
only we could give
Here,
patience. Yeah.
take this. You're going to need it in the beginning. I don't know. My phone number. I give it to them. Be like, hey, I've been there. I
Yeah.
mean, I know I'm still young. And sometimes we even get new firefighters that join that are older than us. I'm like, how's that going to work? Like, do they look at me and be like, you know nothing? Like,
I don't know.
but I'll give them my phone number. Like, hey, just even if it doesn't feel like you want to, can, whatever, take it.
Yeah, and you've got it. Sometimes I feel like we need to pass out like a Yellow Pages. That ages me probably, but I'm not that old. I am old enough to have Yellow Pages. But Yellow Pages for the fire department. Like, here's your movers, here's your plumbers, here's your
Yes.
electricians.
We've called plenty that a lot of firemen have a second job, and
Yeah.
we take that.
And those are always when stuff goes wrong, they're on shift and we got to find one of them.
Yes.
Okay, what is your go-to, like, easy dinner on nights he's on shift and you've just, like, had it? You're not cooking, you're not doing it.
Cereal.
Percent.
Best meal when you're pregnant, best meal when you're alone.
There's many nights I look at the girls. I have a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
3-year-old.
And a 3-year-old. But there's many nights I look and I'm like, cereal for dinner,
Yeah.
guys. Mama cannot do
Or
it.
my mom called it growing up, fend for yourself night.
Oh, yeah.
You find what you want and eat it. I don't care. Just eat.
And then when you
something.
make that decision, you just pray the milk is still good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you're not out.
Absolutely.
Okay, despite like missed holidays and the schedule being crazy, what's your favorite thing about the fire family? Or the fire life? I mean, it could be either one.
Honestly, the family that we've grown outside of it. Like if they didn't do the paramedic course together, we wouldn't have really started talking because we were in different groups during our Family Matters thing. So like we didn't even talk at that point. So just building those relationships over the years and finding my people.
Yeah.
Because it is so different talking to a friend who doesn't understand. Like great, love them. They're my close friends too, but having somebody that understands day-to-day life with a first responder.
Yeah, and I think it's like going with that. I had a thought. It's gone. JK,
Never mind.
you said ending. Oh, I remember. We've had many conversations about like how hard it is. Like when you're a kid on the playground, you make a friend in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like our kids will walk up at the playground and be like, "This is my best friend." I'm like, "Do you know his name?" They're like,
No.
But like making friends as an adult is so hard.
It
and
is.
so like why not use the built-in fire family to
Yeah.
make some friends? Okay, in 5 words or less, you're gonna have to count. What is your best advice for a spouse that's starting rookie year?
That's a tough one. I don't know. Find your people. I don't know.
It goes on
Communicate and
team.
find your people.
Communicate and find your people. Hey,
That
that
works.
Okay, and then what is the biggest misconception people have about being married to a firefighter? I feel
We
like
could
there's
do the cliche getting cats out of trees, but my husband's actually done that.
I got a text one day. Kyle said, "You'll never guess what I did today." And I just jokingly was like, "You got a cat out of a tree and helped a grandma cross the street." And he goes, "Yes, actually both."
Oh,
I was like, "There's no way."
when Matt was at his first department, the small department, he told me that the lunch ladies at the elementary school there spilled gravy on the sidewalk and they had to clean that off. And I'm like, they called 911 to clean gravy off a sidewalk?
Well, we had that milk spill on the highway. Anyway,
Yeah, there's a lot.
the biggest misconception isn't really a misconception. They
Mm-mm.
do save cats out of trees
Oh.
sometimes.
I know one.
Oh, no.
Firefighter calendars. They're not real. If
Those
you
aren't
see
the real
six-
firefighters.
There's a couple out there, don't get me wrong. I'm sure somewhere in the world, but majority of the time, no.
Yeah.
You know how many sweets they get brought
If you
to the
TikTok
station?
hot fireman, that's not who's
No.
showing up at your door.
Absolutely not. Maybe once in a blue moon, but no.
So make sure your call's real. Oh, thank you for being on here.
Absolutely.
And
Thanks
sharing
for
a little
having
bit.
me.
I hope that that helps some of y'all out there that might be new to the fire life or seasoned and you just needed a repeat maybe of some of that, or
Yeah.
you don't have a fire family. We highly encourage you, find your people, whether that be local or whether that be through the Fire Family Collective. We have people on there from all over and they share stuff. There's an app you can download and it has just kind of a profile, not a profile, that's not the right word, a platform, there we go, where you can get support for whatever different things you need. And then, of course, the podcast, y'all keep listening on here. So yeah, thank you for having us today. And I was glad to be back hosting. So there you go.
All righty. Thank
See
you.
ya.